Hello, fourth grade scientists. We are back in Ergstown today, and we're in lesson 1.5, activity 4. Let's review. Our unit question, again, is how the electrical system works. That is what we're trying to figure out as we are learning these new concepts during our unit on energy conversion. For today, we're going to synthesize some information from the things that we've read and the hands-on investigation that you were able to see. So my first question is, what is synthesizing? Do you know what synthesize means? I'm going to make sure that you do. To synthesize means to combine things to make something new. So we're going to combine some ideas from our reference book and from the investigations that you've watched to make a new understanding. Here's how we're going to do it. I need you to turn to page 14 in your investigation notebook if you have it. If you don't, just follow along because you'll be able to complete the assignment in Seesaw. We're going to use this graphic organizer, and it's going to have us think about things we've learned or ideas we've had from the reference book and ideas we saw from watching the two boys put together the simple electrical devices. We're going to come up with a new idea. So let's do one together. We all read, or I read a page part and a part of another page to you from the reference book called It's All Energy. And we learned that for electrical energy, things have to be plugged in. Okay? So for it to use electrical energy, it has to be plugged in. So in that first box where it says idea, and I want you to know that you would write the idea there in the box. And you'll notice here it says source, it's all energy. That's why we're using this box. Our new idea from the reference book goes in this idea box. Then we're going to add it to another new idea. Our second idea is going to come from watching the investigations. So here we are. We're back. I still have my idea from It's All Energy. I'm going to add a new one. So I want to think about what things did I notice. I saw the sun. I had a solar panel. There were some wires. What did I learn about those? What's something we learned about these devices that use electrical energy? Well, that we already know that they need to be plugged in, but what do they need to do from the investigation? What did we learn? That they had wires that carry this energy. So if you remember, you would have your solar panel and it'd have a wire connected to the light or the buzzer or the fan. So we know that in order for these electrical devices to work, they had to have some kind of a wire to carry the electricity. So in this orange box that I have here highlighted for you, we're going to add another piece of information. The wires that appeared when it ran and it functioned carry the electricity to the device. Sun, solar panel, wire, light. And we also learned that they need to be plugged in. So that wire is plugging it in to the solar panel, to the light. The light is plugged in through the wire to the solar panel. So what did we learn from this? What did we learn from this? So I know that everything has to be plugged in, and I know that the wires are what carry the electricity. What new understanding can I create from both those? I'm going to think for a little bit. So based on these two pieces of information, what do I know about electrical energy? I know an electrical device electrical devices use electrical energy to work. So this is about my devices. Here's my electrical energy, the solar panel and the lamp. So the lamp uses electrical energy to work. Where does it get the electrical energy? It's usually plugged in. So if I think back to my toaster example, I take my toaster out of the cupboard, I put it on the countertop. Is it going to work? Which of these two things are not true? Because it won't work. I have a wire, okay, but I don't have it plugged in, so it's not going to work. So you need to have both these things true in order to have a functioning device. It has to have the wire, and it has to be plugged in. So now what you're going to do in Seesaw, if you don't have your own investigation notebook at home, or in your investigation notebook and take a picture, you're going to come up with your own ideas from what you heard me read, or you can go back and listen to the video again, and what you saw in the investigations, which you can watch again as well. Just go back to previous days in the website or back to your Seesaw assignments and come up with a new understanding. So how about I give you some suggestions? One hint I might have is we talked about forms of energy. Forms of energy. So not everything is electrical energy. There is thermal energy. There's chemical energy. There's motion energy. So think about that. And we know that we've learned that energy is something that can be moved or changed. So when I plugged in my hairdryer, hot air comes out. That energy was changed, right? From electrical, plugged in through the wire, and when it came out, I have warm air. It's a little bit different. Now I want you to also think, that's something that you could possibly write about in the top here. I also want you to think about the investigation that that you saw made the boys with this simple electrical system. The simple one, the sun, the solar panel, the lamp, the sun, the solar panel, the buzzer, the sun, the solar panel, and the little LED light. So those are all simple devices. What do you know about that? I'm thinking. So I had to put my solar panel up to the lamp, the heat lamp, or the sun to make it work, right? So the energy had to be changed from solar to the solar panel and then to the device, okay? So the energy had to be changed. So we learned that there's different, all energy is change or move. To be energy, it's something that has to be moved or changed. We saw that in the example, the hair dryer, the energy changed from electrical to something else. We also watched that in our simulation. So if you want to use those ideas, that's perfectly fine. But you need to come up, what is something you now understand because of those two ideas? Can you come up with your own idea? Absolutely. I look forward to reading them. So now we have, here's where we are in all this. This is our concept we are working on, that light, motion, sound, and thermal energy, those different types of energy, they're all forms of energy, and you can observe them in different forms of outputs. So you have electricity coming into it, something else comes out, just like our hair dryer. Okay, you plug it in, and do you have light energy? Do you have motion energy? Sound or thermal? Heat. Heat is thermal. What about if I plug in a lamp? Is that light, motion, sound, or thermal? What if I plug in a ceiling fan? What if I plug in my speakers? What kind of energy are all those? All right, so I want you to use those ideas when you're filling out page 14 in either your investigation notebook or directly on Seesaw. And I want you to remember that our whole purpose, our job as a system engineer for this entire unit, is to figure out what is happening in Ergstown. Well, we just learned something new. We're learning about electrical devices. I want you to really think about, do you think the electrical devices had anything to do with the blackout in Ergstown? Remember, there were lights. All of a sudden it went black. A little while later, the lights came back on. Do you think those devices were causing the problem? So think about that. Complete page 14 in your investigation notebook or in Seesaw, and I will see you next week.